Hey, everybody. Welcome to the morning market briefing Friday, May 8th. May the 8th be with you. Hope you're doing well out there. Good to be back in the saddle. I'm Andrew Hall. I work here as well. It's been a long time. I've been maybe 2 calls in the last 3 weeks. But now, unfortunately for you listeners, I got nothing on the schedule. So
Time to go. We're back.
Locking in. Tom, how we doing?
Doing well.
Putting the show on your back.
You looking really tan.
Thanks. Yeah.
Very handsome.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of outside time. Just got back from Mexico with about half the office. So
Ben, I guess, is in.
Who knows where Ben
he's
is
in
now?
Scotland now.
Is he?
I didn't know that Scotland was on the agenda, but he told me, he texted me the other day that he just landed in Edinburgh. So I'm assuming he's seeing family while he's over there.
He's a different place every day.
He went to Morocco, I heard, which sounds cool.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
So
Crazy. And when's he get back? Next week?
I have no idea.
I think he'll be back Monday.
All right, back in the saddle Monday. So we'll have the whole team here. Let's jump in. Some streaming wars on a topic that we enjoy, the NFL, Tom.
Ooh.
A little fight here. Lots of people involved.
Yeah, so it seems that the NFL is leveraging a change of control clause that they have with Paramount to basically force reopening of all of the media deals, and basically anybody who's still on terrestrial broadcasting networks is going to be facing you got to pay a lot more money to keep the football games, or they're going to put them up to the highest bidder to the streamers, which I personally am a little worried that the NFL is getting too ambitious with this.
Too cute.
It's already so hard to watch any NFL game that isn't basically the Falcons game, and I'd like to watch a little Josh Allen every once in a while, occasionally catch a West Coast game. I know Ben likes to watch the Seahawks for some reason. Are they any good at football? I can't remember if they won any games recently.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's a free-for-all. And so I just worry that the NFL is getting too far over their own skis. They're now going to get in a position where you can't watch all the games. It's too fragmented. It already kind of is, where you've got to watch the Amazon Prime with Kirk Herbstreit, who is not an NFL broadcaster.
He's not good on the NFL.
He's one of the best to ever do it for college, but I just don't think – I mean, those broadcasts are abysmal.
Yep.
And the crowd noise is always too loud or too quiet. It's
You
weird.
got the weird Netflix holiday games.
Yeah. If you tune in, it tries to give you like the weird recap, like the AI recap before you catch up. It's strange. So Rupert Murdoch is mad because obviously Fox is going to be priced out. I mean, the tech giants obviously have a lot more money than traditional TV. It's just going to be a mess. And I worry that this might be the death knell for NFL, where it might just get the revenue is not going to continue to increase at a certain point. At a certain point, the return on invested capital for somebody like Amazon is going to get too low, and advertisers aren't going to be spending the money. I mean, that's the piece. I would encourage anyone who likes football to read the book. The title is Football by Chuck Klosterman, but he talks about how there is going to be a critical point where they can't just keep making more and more money, and then contracts are going to not continue to go up, and you may see football go the way of horse racing, which was the biggest sport in the U.S. in the early 1910s. Then it was boxing, and then those have sort of been relegated to history, and it happened faster than people think because eventually, like, the interest level dropped. And if not everyone can watch the games, then how much interest can you possibly have? You're sort of pricing out the average viewer, which I think the stereotype would be sort of the poor hillbilly, hillbillies love football. But I think that that's really just most people. How many people are going to get an Amazon Prime, a Paramount, a Peacock? You have to find
YouTube.
bunny ears to try and find actual cable games, ESPN games.
Yeah.
For Monday Night Football. It's just going to be at a certain point, you've got to be in the upper class exclusively just to watch any game.
And there's a reality of, even if you have all of those things, there's a frustration point you hit where it's, Sunday at 4 o'clock, and you're like, oh, I'll just turn the game on. You don't even necessarily, this happens to me often, I don't even necessarily know who's playing, but let's have some background noise on while we're doing stuff around the house or watch it, and then you can't find it.
Yeah.
When you hit that point, viewership is going to tank, because I would argue that a number of televisions that are on Sunday afternoon on an NFL game are not on to watch the Falcons. They're not on to watch Josh Allen. They're on because football's on, let's just have it on.
Yeah.
And you're going to lose those viewers quickly.
I mean, I would say the value I find in the NFL is that I'd like to watch pretty much any game because it's football. Yep. And if you can't find any game, then you've got a problem. Because like college football, I watch almost any SEC game and maybe the occasional Ohio State game or Notre Dame game, but like I don't have any interest in watching, two Sun Belt teams play really.
Yep.
But the NFL is like, oh, the Jags are playing the Chiefs. Like I'll watch this. It's on TV.
Yeah.
It's we have a clause that sports are neutral in terms of screen time for our children. So, we can have golf on all day, every day during the weekend.
There we go.
Football counts like that too.
Yeah.
So
that's for the kids.
yeah, it's
for the kids.
they're not being hurt by it. If anything, they have more worldly knowledge. They can talk at any dinner party about any sport.
The other thing, I mean, the quality of the broadcast teams has gotten stretched so thin.
Yes.
Because there's so many providers and they have to acquire talent not only for the color commentary and the play-by-play. They have to have sideline reporters. There's usually 2 of those, and then they have like the people at the desk for halftime and pregame and postgame. And all of a sudden you've got a team of 10 people that are broadcasting, many of which at this point, because there's so many different broadcasts, are C players.
Yeah. Jordan Rodgers. Yuck, dude.
Gross. Get me out.
I mean, listen, Jason Witten, he's a personal hero of mine. Bad.
Yep.
But you know who they need to bring back is Tony Siragusa.
Man,
is he
the goose?
Is he alive?
I think he might have died.
Somebody
If they could conjure him back up.
I'm not
you
certain.
look that up while we talk Cloudflare, because Cloudflare down, 18%, Thomas?
Yeah, I think they came back up a little bit this morning, but Cloudflare was down after a pretty strong quarter, beat on revenue and EPS, but raised their full year EPS guidance as well. But the big downside and kind of continuing the trend here is we are seeing 1,100 of Cloudflare's jobs laid off globally. So this is around 20% of their total employees. So Cloudflare, if you don't know what the company is like a software company that does a lot of like firewall security. So they almost have a monopoly on, anytime you go into like a new website, you've probably seen their orange logo. You click on it just to make sure that
you're real.
That you're real and you're not about to send 1 million user accounts into this website. So the developers have increased their AI usage more than 600% in the last 3 months alone. And this is leading to Cloudflare being like, man, we do not need all these people. This is going to cost them around $140 million, which is why the stock is primarily down. But for me, I think it's a little bit of an oversell. It looks like a better restructuring, and they're growing pretty fast. So,
all right.
Tony Siragusa died June 22nd, 2022, at the age of 55. Died in his sleep.
That's tough.
Now, he was listed at 6'3", 340, and I imagine that didn't go down after he retired.
Yeah, but sometimes you see those guys lean out. He was not one of them.
I mean, that's like a full, like if you merge TK and I together,
yeah,
we would be roughly.
You're one Siragusa.
We would be one Siragusa at the age at his listed weight. So
yeah.
I would say I would encourage everyone.
And you'd be about his age.
Speaking of streaming services, if you have HBO Max, or I guess it's just Max now. I don't know what it is now. It's one of the two.
I think it's HBO Max.
They've gone back and forth like 3 times.
Go back and watch the first season of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, with the Ravens.
That's back when people weren't used to being on camera. There was no media training, and Tony Siragusa is a real locker room talk guy.
Yeah.
Just an absolute bully.
Yeah. SoftBank scaling back its $10 billion margin loan to as low as $6 billion. Is this going to be the beginning of some unwinding of these things, do you think, TK, or is it just...
I'm not too concerned about this. SoftBank has like a huge equity stake still in OpenAI, but it was kind of a headline news today. Just more them de-risking based on the recent valuations concerned around OpenAI and missing revenue targets primarily, but I'm not super concerned from the circular financing is starting to collapse perspective.
So it's not there. We're not there yet. Ceasefire seems to be more firing, less ceasing. That was a great line in the notes by TK.
Thank you.
Good observation there, but continuing to see some shots fired. We're still...
The speedboats and the missiles.
Mosquito Navy.
I mean, it's... this thing, it just keeps dragging on. Where do we go?
I mean, I think, honestly, if we were going to have $200 oil, it would have happened. And rates are starting to come back down. Inflation fears are starting to kind of wane a little bit.
I think people are just kind of over it.
Yeah. I mean, I saw some clips of my boy Bill Housey, the world's most interesting bond trader, and he was basically saying, like, listen, we don't have a supply problem. Like, sure, the Strait of Hormuz is shut, and that hurts everybody else. He's like, but the U.S. doesn't have a supply problem, and we have enough supply that it's not going to be an issue in terms of massive oil. And as a result, as this thing does unwind, and even if it takes 6 months or a year, we will end up with lower oil prices on the back end, and inflation will come down, and so will rates. So, in Housey, I trust, close personal
We
friend
must
of mine.
protect this Housey.
You know, so I'm leaning that way as well, and it's nice to see somebody else who I consider to be smarter than myself saying the similar things.
In a headline that I would have expected 5 or 6 years ago, Lime Scooters IPOing.
Is Bird publicly traded? Because Bird was first mover.
Yeah, Bird was first mover.
They might be owned by Lyft.
That might be right. The Lime Scooters, I mean, I just feel like those were hot in the streets in Austin, Texas in 2020.
Yeah. I have a buddy, he went to Georgia Tech. I played rugby with him, and he moved to be the head of Lime Scooters for Austria. And he's just been living the life, man. He's just out there
just scooting
setting
around.
up scooters, skiing all the time. It seems like that would be a big payday for him. I'm assuming he probably took that job with some equity, and so now he's the I don't know what you would call the king of Austrian scooters.
The Lime Master. Their 2025 revenues came in at $886 million. They had a net loss of almost $60 million there. They do have Uber and Alphabet backing them. What's the angle here with this IPO? Because it does not seem like one that's going to be wildly successful.
I don't know either. And so
acquisition.
Yeah,
Just
maybe
get some cash to folks in Austria.
Uber needs to find a way to lose more money. They'll probably buy them out. These Lime scooters have to have some of the worst software out of across the entire fleet, because I live on the Beltline now and living in other cities. These things can completely get jailbroken and
they're just gone.
Well, you can just use them. I mean, people know ways to use these without paying for them. 100%.
Ooh,
I don't.
Tell me more.
Well, at least
hypothetically
speaking, if anyone were to ever use these. So I lived on top of a hill on a train station, and you could just wait for the beeper to stop beeping for about 5 seconds, and then just cruise on down like a regular scooter. And there is one.
Just go downhill.
You can just go downhill without the block or the beeper going, and pedal like you're using a regular scooter.
Mm.
And now there's 100% in my suspicion
Do
ways
scooters
that
have
people
pedals?
are. No. Pedal in the foot.
So it basically is a skateboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For free.
Free skateboards out there.
But I think there's 100% ways that people use Lime scooters, even over other ones, and are able to just jailbreak them and use them for free.
I will say, when Ben and I and Ryan went to D.C. last year for a conference, man, the boys were out there, mustache just fluttering in the wind.
Did you do the bikes, though?
We did do bikes. We did the city bikes. Those stunk, let me tell you. Mine seemed to be throttled in terms of the pedals, so I was just spinning. So they were just cruising around. I couldn't get the gears to change on mine, so we're going uphill, and legs going Flintstone style, which is a cartoon that was before you were born.
I've seen the Flintstones.
Long before I was born as well.
I was going to say.
But it was still on TV when I was a kid. And there were live action movies.
Underrated.
Yeah. I think that was the last Billy Baldwin movie.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Certainly the last one that involved Halle Berry.
Yeah.
But the Lime scooters, man, those are pretty sick. Though the whole time I was thinking, if I crash this thing and break my arm, I'm going to be in a world of hurt.
There's no cool way.
Yeah, well, just the having to have two small children, a wife that's not happy with you. So those guys were just jumping off speed bumps and stuff, and I was just I'm trying not to die over here.
Scoot gang's got to get home safe.
But we put in miles. We put in long rides on the scooters.
Trump's got a big China trip coming.
Kind of a weird crowd. So
very.
Steve Schwarman of Blackstone and Jane Fraser of Citi. So I don't really know what he's got planned with those two. I'm more interested in
Jensen
Wong
said
inviting himself, saying, "Hey, I'll come if you invite me." He's trying to find any sort of way to allow Trump to ease the export controls on his GPUs. I wouldn't be surprised. I think that he might have been mentioned by Trump earlier, but I don't think he's gotten the official invitation. But I don't know. I think this would be a good move out of NVIDIA. The stock would obviously rip, but there was another article out today kind of confirming what more details in the story we heard about Supermicro Computer's CEO a couple months ago. Basically just GPU laundering to China through this Thailand company called Oban. So they allegedly took like $2.5 billion worth of GPUs and gave them to Alibaba. Alibaba doesn't have the flagship DeepSeek model that is the best model out of China, but they do have Quinn, which is kind of like the ChatGPT level of China models. So I'm kind of like, man, they're already getting them some way. We might as well boost the American
let's get
company
some money for it.
That's selling them rather than giving Super Microcomputer more money.
You think Blackstone's trying to get rid of some of this private credit?
Yeah, we're gonna do a swap.
They're just gonna go in there and do like they do with us and try to sell B-REIT. They're like, you know how you guys aren't supposed to be buying real estate anymore? May I interest you in the
the new data center REIT? That's maybe what it is.
Yeah. The city angle, I have no track on.
I don't really pay attention to city, but they've been performing really well this year. But they're more like trading, and I don't think they have raised any new flagship funds that would be notable.
They killed their muni bond desk before it became very.
Yeah, I think they're killing their wealth management right now.
Are they?
I think
they used to be a core narwhal company, and then they just stunk it up for 5 years, and we haven't owned them in a while. Maybe it's a revisit company.
Yeah, it seems like they're going a different direction, if nothing else. Next week we'll get small business optimism, CPI, PPI, retail sales, Empire Manufacturing Survey. I know that's what Ben's going to be fired up about at the end of the week. What's top of mind for you guys?
We got non-farm payrolls this morning. Not to poo-poo TK's notes, but we know that jobs data is the premier data that we talk about on this call.
It's always accurate.
But non-farm payrolls came in blasting, red hot. Expectation was 65,000 jobs. We got 115, and they revised the blast-off number from last month. That was 178 up to 185. So perhaps the jobs market is not dead, despite the fact that every single day this week we've talked about massive layoffs, particularly in the tech space. So do we think these numbers are accurate? Your guess is as good as mine.
Yep.
But layoffs.fyi is just absolutely screaming.
Ripping.
Yeah, so
ripping.
I tend to think this is not anything because bonds are up, which would indicate a bad jobs number because that would imply more cuts. So
people are like, we're not buying it.
Yeah, I would not lean too heavily on this, but we have to talk about it. We always do.
Man, good stuff. TK, what's top of mind for you?
Kind of a more reset from the earnings front this week. Just a couple, circle reports next week. Just gonna be general macro themes for me. I don't have any specific companies I'm looking at next week.
What's a weekend plans look for? Young, single man, new city?
Man, think might be hanging out with Mo and his friends' America celebration of getting citizenship.
Oh yeah, he was talking about that. Mo said he got roped into or he got invited to something. Somebody's getting their citizenship, and he was like, "Well, where is it?" And they were like, "Your courtyard."
Like the courtyard of
his apartment complex or something.
Oh yeah, I don't know where it is yet, but
weird.
So I was like, Mo, this sounds like something you might have actually at some point been on the front end of organizing and forgot about.
Yeah. Dude, nothing says I am a young person than doing something in the courtyard of an apartment complex. I've been there. It's been a long time, but those are the days,
So America Fest, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
What are you going to wear? Patriotic gear or?
I'm going to find an American flag shirt at the local supporting store.
Yeah. What's that place you like up in Kennesaw, Hicks, with all the Confederate flags? Wildman's. That's where you should go.
Yeah.
People like that. If you show up representing Johnny Reb, I'm sure that you'll be welcomed with open arms.
Yeah. That line. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Midtown Atlanta loves that stuff. All right. Tom, what you got this weekend?
Mother's Day.
Oh, good.
That's a big one.
Yeah, great reminder.
Don't forget to call your mom.
Let me be the first to wish all the mothers a happy Mother's Day.
Yep. So that's obviously priority number one. You got to prostrate thyself in the name of motherhood.
Yep.
It's important.
Yep.
So don't forget to call your mom, especially since you moved away.
She's going to call tonight.
They like that stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I love it. All right. We'll wrap it up there. We'll be back Monday, presumably with the whole crew here. Get Ben back. You guys have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.